Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is well, Redbeard. It is a damn fine day to talk about a book. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? You look good. Good looking, book loving sons of bitches. Here we go. So today we're talking about Road and Arrows by Brian Bowyer. It is the highly anticipated sequel to Road Harvest by Brian Bowyer. And I believe I had something to do with that. I don't know for certain. Actually, I do kind of. But when I reviewed this book, I mentioned that I wanted more. Brian thought the story was done. He said, "Hey, wait a minute," and we got this. So I do think I had something to do with that, Brian. I mean, remind me. It's been a while. I noticed the book's not dedicated to me, so. But anyway, look, he's must read. He really has become one of my most anticipated authors. Anytime he's got something new coming out, I mean, and again, this is my fifth read of his. I think I've read two short story collections, Perpetual Dread, Sinister Mix. I've read these two novellas. Well, this one's more like a novel. It's past the novella point. 179 pages roughly, and then I read the novel Flesh Rehearsal, and I love his stuff. I love it. It's brutal. It's extreme. I've often talked about the no frills level of prose. This one kind of like went like another place for me though. Like it's. I definitely thought this one was better than this one. I think I gave Road Harvest 4 stars. So this one, I mean, is it five? No, it's not five, but it's pretty fucking great. I guess I would have to say 4.5 and hold on to that final half star. I don't know, but I just really dig it. And the thing about this is, I got into this and I wanted to kind of keep track of the body count as I was reading. And I think I was like at 10 deaths within the first 30 pages, and I kind of stopped counting. But it's just full of this shit. But he does this thing, like how like you'll be reading a book about a killer. We read horror, right? You'll be reading a book about a killer. The story will be told from the killer's point of view, and he's going about his business, whatever. He comes across a victim, and maybe we get a tidbit about that victim, about what that victim's doing right then and there. But then they're killed, wiped off the page. It doesn't really matter, right? But that death means nothing, right? It doesn't affect you at all. Brian will take 3 or 4 pages to completely talk about these people. I mean, I'll give you an example here. In this book, we meet a long haul truck driver, and this and we learn about him. We learn he's got a wife and 2 small children, and he's trying to get home to them. Whatever, he wrecks and dies, and then because of that, the wife slips into deep grief and insanity, and is toying with the idea of killing herself and the 2 young children so that they can be with the husband in the afterlife. Well, mom is contemplating this. The kids kind of know she is. The son takes the gun, so she doesn't have it. She can't find the gun. She grabs 2 butcher knives, comes in the room, stabs the kid 4 times. Meanwhile, he gets a shot off through her chin, and they both are dead there. But the girl escapes. Right, the boy succeeded in saving the little girl. Also, she can run, out of the house, down the hill, and meet up with our real killer on the side of the road. So that's some fucked up shit, right? And we spend a few pages with these people, but it seems like more. It feels like more. We care about this little girl, and we learn about her all for her demise to be played out brutally before our eyes. So he does that kind of stuff, which I dig it. I mean, look, I read horror. I mean, I expect people to die and die brutally, but the way he gets us with the characters and then kills them, it's something else. And another example, I mean, we come in on a young couple in a bathtub, and she's pregnant, and we know that it's their first child, and he buys her this necklace that's got a mommy penguin and a daddy penguin and a baby penguin, and they get out of the bathtub, the water's dripping off of her. He lifts her wet hair and puts the necklace around her neck, all for them to walk into the next room and be brutally fucking murdered. It's insanity, and it's fun. It's fun all the way through. There's a lot of Bowyer also has a lot of whiskey drinking in his books. There's some extreme whiskey drinking, and there's this like it keeps talking about like someone will ask for a drink, like someone will say, "Let me hit that whiskey," and it'll say he handed her the bottle, she took a drink and gave the bottle back. And it'll do that same line, but maybe with different characters. Maybe it's he handed the bottle and he took a drink, but he took a drink and handed the bottle back. And there's multiple times throughout this book and others, I think, where like I've noticed that, and it's almost like Boyer's fucking with me. Like it's almost like it's a simple line. You wouldn't write it any other way, I don't reckon. But the line is damn near identical every time, and it's frequent and it's repetitious, and it's almost like he's messing with you. Again, I am a huge fan of books within books. And this book, you wouldn't think it, would you, that an extreme horror novel like Road and Arrows would have a shout out to Carson McCullers' The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. I dig that. I dig books within books. So ultimately in this one, we're following Jinx and Leo, I believe. Yeah. And they're driving a bus, like a tour bus, cross country, picking up people along the way for a fun party in Washington D.C. Just it's just a get together, just a bit of a barbecue, nothing special. But they're picking up roadside. It's got a definite feel of the road and traveling, and we just got a fun event we're trying to make it through. It's like a march, probably like a march on Washington or something. But very, very cool book. But along the way they pick up a girl named Tina. Now, Jinx and Leo, spoiler, they're killers. They are hardcore, brutal killers. But it's just their job. They're not really crazy, I don't think, maybe. Along the way, they pick up Tina. And Tina's a little bit more hardcore than even they are. And she is, stone cold, blistering crazy, and this book's more about her. Jinx and Leo are in this book; they play a role, but this is more about them going back from the end of this one. They go back across the country, back to California, and this book's more about Tina and what she gets up to. Again, there's a shit ton of brutal, ugly, nasty murder in here, and there's nothing comedic about it, or at least not on purpose, or maybe it's on purpose, but it's underhanded, if you know what I mean. We're not joking around, but the way that Bowyer sets us up with these characters and then brutally murders them, it's almost funny. It's almost like, because you never know, like you kind of like some of these backstories are so in depth, you're like, okay, this one's going to be the final kid or the final girl or the final dog or whatever. This one's going to get out. This is going to be the one that we still have left standing at the end. And over again, he sets us up and knocks us down, sets us up and knocks us down. And in that, there is some very, very dark humor, but it's fun all the way through. I highly recommend reading Brian Bowyer. Of all the independent small press stuff I'm reading, it's probably the most extreme. Brian does not follow any set of rules. There is no formula. He is not afraid to kill anyone or anything or anybody or everybody or grandmothers or babies or dogs or cats or there's no rules. There's no holding back here. But again, it's fiction. It's extreme horror fiction, and I had a lot of fun with it. And again, he's gone from a guy that I didn't really know at all, and I got one of his books, to a guy that, if he's got something coming out, I want it. I have to have it. So fun all the way through. Road and Arrows, probably in the 4.5 star range for me. I liked it a little bit better than Road Harvest, I think, and just absolute fun. So this has been Well Read Beard. This has been Road and Arrows. Brian Bowyer, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them. I should have got the whiskey down and drank some of it. It's only 10:47 in the morning, though. But all of them as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.